it's very rare to say. The sentence I'm about to say is it's kind of a scary movie with a heart of gold. A lot of scary movies don't have the same kind of heart and that this one possesses. And Scott's more mature as a film director now. He was already experienced as a young man. You could tell that he was a serious film guy, but now he's had big time experience, and it shows. And so I just really wanted to work with him. That was my main draw. I hate playing the baddie, and the reason why I don't like it is I like playing flawed characters and people who aren't likable and things like that's always drawn to me. But whenever you're overtly evil, you teach the audience how to see what's evil about you. And once you teach them that, they can't unsee it. And they kind of bring it into every part you do. I have this theory about Jack Nicholson. He's not the same actor post The Shining. Once you see The Shining, you look at everything he does. It's like, wait, is he going to chop off my head? And so it changes the way an audience relates to you. So I kind of thought, I wouldn't want to do it. But then when I felt the heart of the piece, and I also was really excited about the idea of playing a character in a mask. It seemed crazy to me. It seemed like some strange, abstract Greek theater piece. And the character became something I'd never done before. So the chance to do that with Scott, with a script that worked so well, it was an easy decision. I didn't really understand what he was going to do with the masks when I first took the job, because he hired this amazing artist to do the masks. And one of the surprises, I'd kind of read it imagining the mask to be singular. And Scott devised this plan where sometimes it's this half is covered, sometimes it's this half, sometimes it's this half, sometimes it's this half, sometimes he's smiling, sometimes he's frowning, sometimes there's no mouth, sometimes there's no eyes. The mask itself is working in this strange symbolic universe that, just even living through the pandemic now, we've all noticed how masks change the way we relate to people and what you see and what you don't see. One of my favorite Bob Dylan lines is, Scott loves this too, is that the great thing about wearing a mask is you know the person is telling you the truth. When a person doesn't have a mask on, you know they're lying. It's a Dylan cone, but it kind of makes sense. It's because you have a mask on and I'm announcing that I'm hiding, and everyone's hiding in a certain aspect. And so it was fun for me to devise what this person is hiding from. How did they become this damaged? It's always the people who've been tortured that torture others. And while the film isn't really exploring that, it became part of my job to create an entity that you could read a backstory into. It's actually a fascinating thing to think about. Somebody who doesn't want to be seen so much, they must really hate themselves, and that level of self-loathing is probably what gives them the strength to hurt others, because they hate themselves so much that it's their only counterbalance. Normally, I say that I'm always like to be my character's lawyer. If I was my character's lawyer in this case, I think I would resign and just let the guy go to the death penalty. This is the kind of character that, were he to be sentenced to prison, the other prisoners would kill him. He's not a good person. Some part of his soul has been so eroded that he can justify doing things that most of us don't even want to think about. And so in a way, it's very hard to play that kind of blackness or darkness or malevolency, whatever the right word is you want to use, because it's impossible to justify. It's impossible to be his lawyer. You just have to be a wounded animal. The joy of doing a scary movie is I always like to picture a group of friends going to a movie theater at midnight on a Thursday at Halloween, or people having a sleepover party, and it's your job, like you're sitting around a campfire, your job to tell a scary story. There's a time in all our lives when it's fun to be told a scary story. That's what you want. You want somebody to say, hook me. And so you just get into that mindset and have fun with it, and you can't, at its simplest level, that's what it is. Hey, everybody, gather around. I'm going to tell you about the grabber. Oh, shit, I don't want to know about the grabber. Yeah, you do. And before you know it, everybody's like quiet as a church mouse, and you're telling them about the grabber. The grabber is a failed magician, I imagine. And, like a lot of clowns, there's a darkness there. Their connection has real power, and it's what the movie's about to me. When I say, my character's absolute horror, right? But their character represents the opposite of horror. What do you want to call it? Love, or whatever you want to call it. Compassion, care, brotherhood, sisterhood. There's something as strong as evil. My mother always says there's a mysterious force for evil and there's a mysterious force for good, and they're all, you don't kind of understand where it's some of this, how these terrible things happen, but there's also these mysterious, amazing, beautiful things that happen. And so these kids are all about that.